Matthew Mattingly, Bassmaster Opens Pro and Mollucks Pro, coming to you with a recap. Just got back from the Bassmaster Eastern Open on Lake Norman down in Cornelius, North Carolina. It was actually kind of cool. We were pretty close to Charlotte, and I'd never been there. You know, Lake Norman's known for a lot of fish. It's not necessarily known for a lot of big fish, especially this time of year. You know, the fish when we were down there were hardly any on the bed, so it was all post spawn, and so it kind of made it tough. You know, you guys will watch my practice video and stuff, and you'll see that I actually caught several fish, and I did. And you know, there was a few numbers of fish, but the big ones were hard to come by. So I'm going to go over just a few things that I did. I ended up 84th in the tournament. That sounds like I didn't do so well, but I actually had a couple missed opportunities. You know, I lost about a 4-pound largemouth with a couple hours to go on day one, and day two I actually struggled and didn't get my limit until like 1:30, and then I went and largemouth fished for the, I had a later day, so I largemouth fished the last half of the day, and I ended up missing one about 3 pounds there too. So just one of those things. It wasn't meant to be for me for this tournament. I was on some decent fish. I didn't think I was on the winning fish, but it was one of those things. You go out and you grind and fish as many docks and many different things as you possibly do, and it's run and gun. Hats off to Wesley Strader, man. Good job back to back. So anyways, real quick, I'm going to go over what I did. So I'm going to go over the two things I did in practice to find the bigger fish. And all I did was I just wanted to follow the bait, and I took my hooks off so I wouldn't hook any of them, and I just marked them, and that way I revisited those places during the tournament. I actually threw two different lures. One was a Mollucks Matter Alive swim bait. This is a hand-carved, basically a wake swim bait. Like I said, I put the hooks back on, but I took the hooks off during practice, and this was really good for the first few hours in the morning. I never really could get them going on a top water, but they would come out from underneath of docks and follow that thing. I mean, you can see, it's just got a real nice wake style to it, and it's right there at the surface. So I had a lot of submarines come out from underneath the docks to check it out, so it was really cool. This is actually in a trout pattern. Norman doesn't have any trout in it, but that's what makes it so cool, is those spots, and so even some of the largemouth will come out and check that thing out just because it looks unique to them. It looks different, like something they haven't seen. And then the other thing is, I actually just picked this up before I left from a good friend, is a S-waver, just a 1/68 size S-waver, again in a trout color, just something a little bit different for those fish to see, and they don't see it all that often. But like I said, I would cast it up next to docks, and those fish would come out, and just you see them raise up to it and look at it, and then they go back down. So that's one way I helped me locate these fish during practice. During the tournament, I actually used 3 different lures. So day one, it was all about the fluke and the swim jig for me. First, I used a Mollucks sneaky stick. I alternated between it and just a regular old fluke, just depending on how the wind was and such like that. But my main weapon was the Mollucks sneaky stick in white shad. So basically everything I threw during the tournament was white almost. But just skip it up under. It's really nice. You skip it up underneath the docks and just kind of slowly walk it out, and they would come out and crush it. Or if they followed it, just pause it and they'll suck it in. I fished that. I'm a shorter guy. I fished it on a 6/8 medium heavy rod with actually 16-pound Sunline FC Sniper. That right there, I had a couple wrap me up around some dock pylons and stuff like that, and never broke a fish off. The couple I did lose a largemouth, that's one of those things. I don't know if they didn't get hooked good or what, but anyways, 16-pound Sunline FC Sniper on a 8-to-1 gear ratio reel. That way I can make a lot of casts during the day. When that wind got up, I actually took and needed to throw something a little bit heavier to be able to skip up underneath of those docks, and I used a Mollucks Kento jig, actually a 3/8 ounce size. It's got an old Arky style head on. It's really flat on the bottom, and I just put a white crawl trailer on the back of it to kind of help it rise up in the water. But that Mollusk Kento jig, man, I could skip that thing a mile back in there. And I actually fished it on a 6'8" heavy. Again, like I said, I'm a shorter guy. Some of you other guys may be a little taller, so you might want like a 7 foot. But for me, a 6'8" was perfect. But a 6'8" heavy, again, a 8-to-1 gear ratio reel. Fished this on 16-pound FC Sniper also. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You skip it up underneath the walkways. And the really big key to this was to, whenever I skip it in there, I'm not fishing it slow. As soon as I skip it in there, I'm burning that thing back, and all of a sudden you see one come out. And if he came out and you just kill the jig, just kill that Mollusk Kento jig, they would suck it in. So it was really cool. But when the wind got up, that was a main key for me, especially day one. I weighed, you know, several in on that. Day two, let's talk about day two. So day two was a little bit tougher. I went into an area first thing in the morning that I thought I was going to get a limit pretty early. That way I could go to the other end of the lake and go largemouth hunting all day. And ended up, I run and gunned for, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 hours trying to get my limit of spots, basically. And I was sucking eggs. You know, the wheels were starting to fall off. But then again, it's one of those things that I've learned that you just have to calm down and make rational decisions. And that's what I did. And I actually pulled up into this creek that had a few bridges in it. And nobody was fishing bridges. So what I did, and this little puppy, shout out to the Mollusk guys for rushing me some out before I left. But this is a Mollusk Sligon. It's basically like a stick bait, you know, stick worm style. But the key to this is it's got a flat tail. I'm not sure if you can see that right there or not. It kind of floats up and undulates underneath the water. But I pulled up to a bridge, and in 3 casts I had 2 keepers. So, and then I fished bridges for the next hour and got my limit, and then went largemouth hunting. But this little puppy right here saved the day for me. So I can't say enough about it. It's it's my first experience with it. And this right here is a special Alberno color, so it's just a green and purple, just an all around good color for that clear water. But anyways, that little baby right there on a drop shot saved the day. And I actually fished it on 12-pound SX1 Sunline SX1 braid, and I used 8-pound FC Sniper leader for that, and I used it on a 3,000 size spinning rod. But after that, I went back up north to largemouth fish basically, and I had maybe 45-50 minutes to largemouth fish, which it's not a lot of time, but I had 2 or 3 key little coves that I had seen some good ones in and swimming. So what I did is I took that sneaky stick again, and I pulled up to a dock, and I told my co-angler, I said, "There's one right there. He's going to be underneath of that walkway." Skipped it up underneath there. Crushed it. I seen it. The good thing about that white shad color is you can see it whenever they suck it in. So I watched him suck it in. I set the hook, came up to the top of the water, and he danced one time, and that is it. And then, by the time I fished the next little cove, it was time to go back. But, I actually had more weight the second day, catching them on that Sligon. So, but anyways, just a couple missed opportunities for me. This tournament is still an awesome tournament, fun. I got some good points off of it. And I'm ready for Champlain. I'm ready to go. So I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people. Like I said, Andy from River to Sea, you got me that S waiver. But the Mollusk guys for getting me the Sligons out there. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it so much. To the other people that support me, you got Calco, Sunline, AFCO, and just a real quick shout out to Anglers Outpost Marine for getting the boat ready for me. Without those guys, I wouldn't be able to make it to the tournament. So I just appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, and all of you guys that are watching. And I just appreciate everything that you've done. Keep up with me. I'm ready for Champlain. Stick with us. Matthew Mattingly, Bassmaster, and Mollusk Opens Pro.